Hello learners, I am New Monica. Recently I was watching a video from Metatron, a channel that I actually rather like, and he was talking about why men are predominantly in the military throughout history and women generally not. He cites a number of medical facts and stems a conclusion from them. I agree with his medical facts, but I actually do not agree with his path from fact to conclusion. Although certainly men have predominated in the military and women have been almost non-existent in them, the reasons are actually a lot more simple, and his inferences that he draws from the medical facts I actually disagree with. I would say that there is a much more basic biological and economic reason for the sexual disparity. So this video will be my take on the reason why men predominate in historical military and women are almost non-existent. Now, sexual dimorphism is certainly relevant to the discussion, but a lot of the relatively minor issues that Metatron goes into really are not. It's certainly true that modern medical science has, in various sources and from various ways, shown that with physical training, men will generally outperform women in physical strength. However, it's also shown that with physical training, women will generally outperform men in physical endurance. And it is a simple fact that in wartime, physical strength is certainly a requirement, but so is physical endurance. It's great if you can overpower the first foe that you meet, but you have to be able to outlast the battle. And if you just don't have the staying power, you're going to fall over exhausted, and whether you were killed or not, you might as well be a casualty because you're no longer fighting. Also, many ancient military formations and stratagems were designed to minimize the relevance of the strength of a single soldier, emphasizing endurance more than strength. The Roman wedge formation and the Macedonian phalanx all revolved around allowing multiple soldiers to simultaneously concentrate on a single enemy and distribute their force across multiple enemies, so that the enemy could not effectively defend themselves, because for each soldier attacking, there were 5 or 6 of that soldier's friends also doing a slicey-dicey on every given enemy. And these formations endured only so long as the lines held. If the line faltered, if soldiers started dropping, the forces would fail. So, given this, it would almost seem like women are a shoo-in for the military. But, like I say, there is a basic reason why they were not. And a lot of this actually boils down to biology, but also economics. Now, before I go on, I should point out that economics is not the study of money. Economics is the study of human behavior in any environment of limited resource. Where you have limited resources, human behavior gets mapped out by economists. And, of course, in almost every environment, there will be limited resources. In this case, the critical limited resource that is of paramount importance is future generations. The simple fact of the matter is that over the course of a year, a man can father many, many children. A woman can give birth to 1. And this limitation is really the harshest limitation on future generations. And given shorter lifespans, greater susceptibility to disease, and many other factors, ancient societies required consistent birth rate. They needed to replace their losses. And the human population can withstand a large loss of men. If a population loses 80% of its men, it can actually sustain the same future generation that it could with those men, although admittedly that might lead to a rather sexist environment. However, even a small loss of women is a noticeable loss of future generations, and a large loss would be potentially catastrophic. Consequently, it is very uncommon that any military force would have a large number of female fighters. It did happen in history. The Scythians were noted for having a large number of women in their military. The Dahomey had entire units of female soldiers that were noteworthy for being really, really terrifying. And modern militaries, in many cases, have female soldiers, and it's oftentimes noted that the female soldier provides great diversity to the general capability, and that they perform perfectly well. Militaries don't really suffer for the presence of female soldiers, but the society may well face a problem, because the society might be losing reproduction. And that, in my opinion, is really the principal reason why women have not been in militaries. If you're going to go to war, preferentially you're going to send those things that you can sacrifice. And women are less expendable than men in terms of reproduction. And that is basically my take on why women are not present in historical militaries. Like I say, Metatron's research into the biology is correct. I just disagree with his path from fact to conclusion. And so that about does it for this discussion on women in historical military. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it, or at least were educated by it.